Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So this today is going to be another family home. I called it Jasmine just because I really couldn't think of what to call it, and that happens to be the flower that I was thinking of. So the house ends up becoming a 4-bedroom and 3-bathroom. It's on a 30 by 20 lot, and it'll cost your sim approximately 143 simoleons. This house was fun to build. I don't know, this one was just more fun. I think just the more that you do to it, the more character that gets added, I don't know, it just makes it more fun to build. So, and again, what I'm doing here with the roofing, at least what we just got done seeing, with all the itty bitty little pieces and stuff that I was doing, that's just to ensure that when you play the upstairs of this house, since it is not considered a full 2-story, and the reason why it wouldn't be in real life is because the whole upstairs is not, how do I want to say it? When you have part of the upstairs that's used with a slanted ceiling and stuff like that, those are not considered a full upstairs. So anyway, whenever I do a house like this where the upstairs is kind of in the slanted room area. Now, of course, in the Sims, we can't we can't change the level of the walls like we could in Sims 3 and actually give it slanted ceilings and slanted walls, which I might add makes a really nice touch when you're making screenshots in the Sims 3. And I really wish we could do that with this, but unfortunately we can't. But theoretically, that would be what this kind of house would have. It would actually have slanted ceilings and stuff upstairs. And when you create a house like that in The Sims 4, put in all your roof pieces in separate like I was doing, and just putting them where they just barely touch the wall is how you're going to ensure it to where you can play in the upstairs without having the ceiling or the roofing in your way. And I do have a tutorial on how to do that, so if you just want to check out my tutorials, I think I have a playlist that says Sims 4 tutorials, so if you just click on that, you'll find it. It's not hard to find. So, but that's what this house is. It's just a family home. It does have an open floor plan. I do tend like to make open floor plans when I'm not. Some people would consider this house, I guess, a little bit more traditional. However, where I am from, this would not be considered traditional, at least, and technically it's not. It's not actually a traditional home. It's not really considered like modern as what you would see in different areas of the United States or even in the Sims games in general. But around here, this would actually have a lot of modern interior, a lot of modern decorating. Of course, I'm not a modern decorator, so it is going to be designed a little bit more inside, more traditionally than what you probably would. So, but yeah, so this has an open floor plan. A lot of times if I'm actually going to build an actual traditional home, a lot of times it's still going to be separated into rooms. Just because that's traditionally what they did. They were just separated in rooms. So, I'm just, I like open floor plan. I'm hoping that one day maybe I can have an open floor plan. That way it just, it's just nice. If you have guests over or whatever, you don't have to be in washing supper dishes or whatever it is you're doing, and everybody else is in the living room and you can't even see them. So open floor plan is nice. Maybe someday I'll have that. But basically just doing some of the landscaping, just some minimal stuff. You know how I am about landscaping. It's been a while since I've done this house, so I can't exactly remember what all I did. I don't know if I do any more outside or not. Basically what I'm doing here, since The Sims 4 does not let you have balconies, which really frustrates me, I decided to make what is called a plant shelf. And what a plant shelf is, in case you don't know what they are, is a lot of times if you have a staircase and it goes up in the house and there's an area like what you just seen there where there's like a I don't know, it's not really called a shelf, but an area where it doesn't connect where you can walk. It's just kind of like on the other side of the staircase and you can't really get to it. A lot of times it's called a plant shelf, and basically people put, I guess if you are able to get to it in some way or another, you can probably put real flowers there, but a lot of them are actually very hard to get to, so they're usually fake flowers and fake plants that are put there. So this is the kitchen. I like the way the kitchen turned out. It has a bar and it's a pretty good size. I really enjoyed it. I just like the way this house looks. It's definitely a house I think I would probably use if I ever played the game long enough for my Sims to make money. Oh, I tend to get bored. I don't know. I lose interest, short attention span, I guess you could say. But yeah, I hardly ever play the game long enough for my Sims to actually make money and actually move out of poverty. So, in fact, I'm a Lover challenge that I'm playing right now for, the challenge on here on YouTube is actually the longest I've actually played in The Sims 4, and my 100 baby challenge is definitely probably the longest I've ever played in The Sims 3 of the same family. So yeah, I don't usually stick it out. I get bored. So this is basically, like I said, it's open floor plan, so that's also going to be the living space, which is actually really big, the living area. And it's right open into the kitchen, so that makes it nice. I wasn't really too sure exactly what to do with all of that space in the living room, but I think it turned out. There's an area that is like the TV and sitting area, and then I actually put a piano in. Oh my goodness, I actually did a piano. That's the one thing I miss about The Sims 4. They don't have the little portable piano. I really like the portable piano in The Sims 3 because I am able to turn it into an upright piano and save space, and I can put a piano in almost any house that I want to build. In fact, I have a piano in a lot of different houses, and houses that are not big enough for the grand piano. So it would be nice if they could just add that, and obviously let me merge it into something to make it upright. And it still works, of course. It would obviously have to still work. So it would really irritate me and frustrate me if I went to make one and it didn't work. So that would just be a waste of my time, and I wouldn't like it. I didn't know what to do with this area that's on the side of the kitchen. I didn't really want it to be I didn't really want a breakfast nook. I already got the bar there with the stools. I don't know, I didn't really want to do that over there either. So basically what I had done was it just kind of like a miscellaneous room. I guess, you could walk in, it's got your stuff for outside, like there's a cart there for gardening plants and stuff, and I even added a few more plants I think to it, and just more stuff to it. There's some sitting area over there or something, and I don't know, it's just one of those places where you come in from outside and it's just kind of like there. It's not really a formal place and or anything like that. It's in the back of the house where nobody can see it, and that's kind of where you can leave your muddy boots and stuff like that. So this is kind of like where I decided to put the piano. I'm not sure why I chose this spot. Maybe because I just figured I wanted the living room area to be maybe a little bit closer to the kitchen, I guess. And of course I'm trying to clutter up the space as much as I possibly can. You know how I am about clutter. I, for whatever reason, have to clutter. I just think it looks nicer and it makes it look lived in. Every house I've ever lived in and growing up and everything, it's always been really cluttered, obviously. I mean, you live in a house, you buy things, and the next thing you know, you have too many things in your house, and yeah, and then you got to move out because you don't have any room. Or you have to have some kind of garage sale or something, or donate it because you have way too many things in the house, and you can't even keep it clean because it's like being a hoarder. It just gets to be too much. But yeah, I'm not really a hoarder though. I don't even consider myself a pack rat. But yeah, I do tend to save some stuff I guess I think on some things I figure I might use it, but they say if you haven't used something in a year, you probably never will, and you should just get rid of it. But there's some things I just can't seem to part from. But I'm not really a hoarder either. I do throw a lot of things away. I do throw a lot of things away, and I don't keep a lot of things. So, and I definitely wouldn't want to be a hoarder. Oh my goodness, that would drive me nuts. Having that much stuff in my house and not being able to move, that would not be good. This is the formal dining area. It's off of the entrance and off of the kitchen, which a lot of times is what you should do when you're designing a house. The dining room really should have an entrance that actually connects to the kitchen. You're very unlikely to use your dining room if you have to walk to the other end of the house to get to your dining room. Now, I have seen some houses that are built and you've got to go through different rooms just to get to the dining room, and that's just poor planning. So yeah, you want to always make sure that it's connected in some way or another. Even if it's a small hallway, that's fine. Just not a big hallway. You don't want like a really long hallway going to it. So, but something small or a direct entrance would be best. Otherwise, your dining room more than likely will never be used. So if you expect to use your dining room, then have it nearby. Now, of course, in The Sims, they don't really care. They're going to go to it anyway. It's not really going to be a big deal, but that's just, you know, in the real life, of course. This is the formal office area, I guess you could say. I kind of like the placement of the living or the office area with the French doors, and then here is going to be the master bedroom along with the master bath. It is connected off of that back area next to the kitchen. I don't know, like that mud room area or whatever you want to call it is kind of where it's connected. And I realized I had completely forgot about putting toilet paper in the one bathroom. So yes, there is a hamper, and no, there's no laundry room. We don't have laundry rooms yet. Maybe someday when you're watching this video, if you're watching it later, you'll see that we have hopefully laundry rooms and hopefully laundry, and I hope we do. That way my Sims can make a mess and I can give them stuff to do. I actually really like having my Sims have I like having a dirty house, because that means they do stuff and I can get them to do stuff and they're not bored and just standing around with their fingers wherever they got them, and you know, they're actually doing something. It just gives me something to do. So this bedroom is a little bit more fancy. I decided to go ahead and put a fireplace in it, and kind of like a little bit of a sitting area in there with a fireplace. Just something to take up that space. The bedroom was actually kind of a large size anyway, and I wasn't really too sure what all to do to fill up the space. And I end up using the dresser there that I know is for kids, but one of the color palettes does have no, you know, like kid pictures or anything on it. Then I decided to go ahead. I got in my mind that we should put something here. It was just too bland, so it's just kind of like a small cabinetry area. I guess it could be a place that you would keep maybe like a linen closet, like extra linen blankets or something, and I don't know. I have no idea. It was just something to put there and take up space. This is the toddler's room. It's actually quite a good size for a toddler's room. I would have to say in this game, I find myself making more rooms that include toddlers, because it's not like it was in The Sims 3 where you could just stick a crib and have a nursery and the toddler use the same room as the baby. Now they don't go in the crib anymore, so you really have to have like their own room. So I find myself creating this one extra bedroom specifically for the toddler stage. I don't know, it just seems like you have to, because if you have kids one after another, you really need a separate space for the toddler, because you know, they can't go in the bassinet. So I don't know, it just feels like it's necessary. I end up doing a lot of cluttering. I use things a little bit different than what they are meant to. I really like that shelf, however, nothing seems to go in it. So I used moved objects on a lot for this room, as you can see, to help clutter stuff up. And I just put a bunch of toys on the shelves. I put stuff on the bench or whatever it is next to the toddler bed, and of course the dresser has, you know, toy trains and stuff on it. And so Move Objects is definitely, I mean, if you download anything from me, you might as well just have your Move Objects on, because that is like a necessity for me in a game. That is always on. I cannot build with that on. It's always going to be on. So it's just one of those things that if you download anything from me, I don't know if it still causes a problem or not. I know I had downloaded this one house, or I had one house I had done. It was my one Victorian house I used for the vampire pack. And the only thing that seemed to move whenever I placed that lot was just one exterior light, and that was it. The rest seemed to be okay. So I really don't know if there's much of a problem if you don't have Move Objects on. But I just kind of like to let you know whenever I do a Sims 4 build that, yeah, it's going to be on. Because I know there's some cases where it does kind of glitch out and stuff, I guess, messes up. So, but since we happen to be talking about Sims 4 here and things like that, I wanted to let you know that, you know, maybe you're not even here. You probably don't even care or anything like that about the fact that I have a few mods and stuff like that that I have created. But just in case you do, I just want to let you know that you can find me at that one Discord app or whatever it is. I'm actually on there with Deaderpool. He's the creator of the MCCC, or the MC Command Center. I'm actually on there, and I do periodically stop in there. In fact, I didn't used to stop in there at all, only if I had maybe a question or something I wanted to ask Deaderpool. A lot of times I just went in there. If I did, I was just going in to chat with him. So, but I was informed yesterday, this is Thursday that I am recording this, so I was informed on Wednesday that there's actually been several questions about some of my mods on that website. So, I think I'm going to probably pop in a little bit more often than I used to. So if you want, you can, you know, get in on his server there, and, you know, and if I happen to be there, if you have any questions, we can chat. It's fine. So I'm usually in the general chat because the other areas are specifically for problems with the MCCC or MC Command Center is a support channel, I guess, or whatever. So I'm usually in the general chat. You can pretty much chat about pretty much anything there. So occasionally, if I'm in there, I will be there. You can also tag me or hashtag me or whatever it is on there, and I will receive a notification that you have contacted me, and if I can, I will get back to you. So it's just another way, another place that you can go to contact me or something like that. So if you choose, if not, that's okay. You can also contact me on my origin. I have all of those things listed below in the description. All the way at the bottom, you'll find all the different places that you can actually contact me. So I'm not really too picky where you want to contact. It's fine. Wherever you prefer. I don't expect you to sign into some place specific just so you can ask me a question or something like that. Anywhere that you want, that's fine. So this is also another bedroom that ended up being really large, a lot larger than planned. So I tried separating it a little bit with one of those clothing separator things. I don't even know what the heck they're called. Whatever the heck they are. You know, it kind of gave your sim a little bit of privacy while they're changing clothes. But it was mostly just to help break up the space a little bit because the room is just big. For whatever reason, the rooms in this house ended up being a lot bigger than I preferred. And for me, it gets challenging to decorate a house that is rooms that are this big because I don't like a lot of empty space. So here we are going ahead and put in some of the exterior stuff. We're moving on to lighting. So I'm assuming since we're doing exterior lighting that most of the exterior decorating must already be done. Right here we're going ahead and putting a little bit of patio. I didn't want to go all the way to the edge because then it would create the straight line from the end of the edge lot. And that looks kind of silly when you're playing in the game because you don't see the edge of the lot. So I try not to have it go straight or be flat. At least I try not to anyway, unless it's intentional. But going ahead and doing the rest of the lighting just to kind of light up the areas for your simmies so you can see them. And here are the screenshots. I find this house very pretty. I like this house. It has a little bit of a traditional look feel, along with a little touch of modern on the outside. So I hope you enjoyed this house, and I'm going to go ahead and leave you here with some music. And if you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.